So I recently had a producer say they struggled with making catchy leads and their arrangement and mixing, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now that we're in FL Studio, you just want to click in the top left, click File, click on New from Template, and then Empty, and this will create a blank project for us. So the first thing I want to do is get into the channel rack. You can click F6 or this box up here to open that. This contains all of our instruments so we can even make a catchy lead. So I click on this plus sign, which is adding a new channel, and then I like to use Flex. It has many free instruments and it comes with FL Studio when you buy it. So my favorite plugin to go to is in the Essential Pianos and the Steinway D. So now that we have that open, we're just going to make a catchy lead. And in order to do this, you just want to click a note, which is left clicking. In my other tutorials, I go more in depth on how to place notes and things like that. All you want to do is really left click. And then you can drag this over and that will make a long note for you. So we're just going to make some chords. I also have a video of chord types in the right top corner. So you can click on that to learn how to make chords. So in this first bar, it's from 1 to 2. We just want to drag that out. This is going to be our bass chord. I kind of want to go into a happier feeling. So I'm going to make a major. And then we're going to add some movement in our second bar. So we can chop this in half, which I just click the slice tool right here to chop those, and then Shift P is an easy shortcut. So I want it to go like da da da, and then we're just gonna reintroduce the first bar, and then in the last bar we're just gonna resolve it with, we can even just pick from here, so maybe E, and then I want to make this a minor just because it's different from the major. And then we can even chop this one in half. Click the wrong tool. Boom. And then bring this down one. All I did was press shift and down. And then I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can switch these around for the last one just to make it different on the end. Okay, and then you just want to add in a counter melody or something that plays in the background, and you can make your counter melody on the original instrument actually. So I think I'm just going to leave this melody like this, and we're just going to add in our instruments. First one I like to do is a clap, so I do those every half bar. So an easy way to just duplicate your pattern, all you got to do is press Control B, and that'll just duplicate it to your end note, and then you can shift and right arrow it all the way to where it needs to be for your second 4 bars. And then I'm going to add a ghost clap, what I call it. So you want to go on the bottom here. There's a control tab for the velocity, and then you can just bring that down and it'll sound way quieter than the other claps. Another thing I wanted to go over with you guys, if you guys don't want your notes to all sound the same, you can click Alt and R. This will bring up a randomizer and you can just randomly change the velocity so all your notes don't hit the same and they have some variation. And then the next instrument I'm going to add, I usually add in a hi-hat. So, and then these I just do every 8th. So, and then you can literally just Control B, Control B, Control B it all the way to the end. And then the next one I'm going to go into is 808s. So all you want to do is grab over your 808, put it in the channel rack. You can just left click, hold, drag it over to the channel rack, and it'll add it. And then open up the piano roll. And for 808s, all you need to do is just follow whatever your chords are. So anywhere in the chords is usually good. And then just make a pattern that fits that. And then remember to bring your velocity back up. And then that sounds good enough to me, so I'm just gonna Control B that. And then I wanna add a roll for this one. So I'm just gonna go out 4. Let's go out 4, select that with the select tool, and then go back to your pencil tool. And then these arrows here, you just left click and that'll create a roll. And if your 808s are clipping, you just want to click cut itself and it won't do that anymore. And fundamentally, you can do that the same with hi-hats. You can literally just create a bar like this and then drag it out. If you have like a slight ending from making the roll from the 808, you just clip it on the line and then make sure it's selected, or you can just go to your pencil tool and delete it and pressing Control U, and this will just split up the notes. And that's an easy way to just make rolls. If you want like a distorted 808, all you have to do is open your mixer, and that's this button here, or you can click F9. So while we're in our mixer channel, all you gotta do is left click it and then go on your slots, just left click a slot and then go to Fruity Sloth Clipper, and this will level out all your sounds. And if we want a distorted 808, all we have to do is put it on a track insert, and all you have to do is scroll up on the mouse wheel or click and drag upwards. And now our 808s are on an insert. So from here we can put on a fast distortion, and obviously that's too much. So all we want to do is turn down our decibels, which these are all volume knobs. So maybe 8 will sound good. And all I did to make it not sound so crazy is just turn down the mix level of it. And there's also one here in the plugin. So you can turn this down. I turned it down about 40. Now the dB for my volume on my bass is about -4, so it doesn't overpower. And now we want to get into arrangement, and when you're on this main screen here with nothing open, you can just go on this pattern, right click it, and then press on split by channel, and this will separate all your instruments. So we want to go to Steinway D and then just make an intro for the beat. So basically when I do my intros, I usually just leave it as whatever main melody I have. And then we just want to add in our 808, our hi-hat, our clap, and our main melody. So this will be a practical like intro to things. So I usually add in an instrument like halfway here to like add some build up, and then you can even just clip 1/4 of a bar and just use your slice tool, go 1/4 of the way there, and then delete those, and that'll cut out the instruments. And then usually I go and this is my hook, so I just copy it and paste it over, and then even removing like an instrument will change up the music a little bit. And then for this, which is going to be my bridge, I just right click on the top left of it and then make unique. And then now we can just remove some of the melody so it's not the same. And maybe we just take out the counter melody at the top, and then maybe we can add some cuts in it. Or you can just arpeggiate it, and then all you got to do is press Alt and A. And then just mess with the time multiplier or multiplicator and the gate. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about automations. So, whenever you do make your outro, all I did after the bridge was just add everything back in, plus our second instrument pattern we did with the arpeggiator. And then now I'm going back to basically the intro, but reversing it so it's an outro. And then I left the hi-hats out until I just want to drop everything back in, but have everything fade out. So, in order to make everything fade out, all we're going to do is right click where we see all these numbers up here and drag it to the end, and then go back to our mixer, which is F9, or you can click that box, and then we want to right click on our volume knob, and then we're just going to create an automation clip. And then when we go back to our patterns, it will have this automation for our master channel. And then all you want to do is just drag this down, and you can even ease it out a little bit by dragging this middle one down. It'll have a tension point, which is basically easing it out. So and all you have to do to get out of that is just double click up here again, and that'll remove where you're highlighting. And if you want to make things sound a little bit different, like maybe here before we put the chorus or the hook back in, you just select this one, and then we're also gonna add a Pretty Love filter, and this will give us a stronger phaser to make it sound different. So in order to make our Fruity Love filter not play during the whole sound, we want to change this knob and turn it down all the way to 0. And then we want to right click and then press init song with this position. And then we want to right click it again and then create an automation clip. So this will make an automation clip starting from the 0. And then now we just want to shift and right click where we want it to start, and shift and right click when we want it to end, and then add one before and add one before that one. So now we can change these. So boom, boom, and then it'll automatically snap if we have our snap to grid option on. So there. And then it sounds normal again. And basically, that was the tutorial. We learned how to mix some things, we learned how to automate some things, we learned how to arrange our patterns, and we learned how to make a catchy lead. So hopefully you guys comment some more producer struggles I can make a tutorial about, and just leave your biggest problems that you're facing so I can help you out. And if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. I have a personalized experience that I'm giving you. If you're a producer or want to learn how to produce in FL Studio, I'm doing what I call a 24-hour melody makeover. I'll tell you what's working, what feels stuck or bland, and one fix to try. And this will be delivered to you within 24 hours. And all you gotta do to participate is click the link in the description or in my bio and fill out the form. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you learned something. See you guys in the next video.